Hello everyone, welcome to the inaugural edition of the Colts U18A1 highlight show. Here you see on the screen today, Game 1, the first game since the team has been made in earnest, since all the cuts have been done. This will be the last exhibition game for the Colts before the tiering game starts next week, but this is the first time the team is together fully since it has been formed. This game happened at the Cloverdale Ice Complex, the new arena, back on September 22nd against the Surrey Thunder, their A1 team. See the Colts here on the right side of the ice in their home uniforms, blue with white and red trim. And on the other side of the arena, the Surrey Thunder in their road jerseys, the white jerseys with blue trim. The Colts do have two scratches here today. Both players out with injury. Mac Fiander, team captain, out, as well as Mitchell Anderson. Starting goalie for today's game will be Sahaj. There you see him in the corner, stretching, getting ready for today's contest. So with that, let's head to the first period highlights. So here we have the first face-off of the season for the full squad here. So the Colts are going to start out on the forecheck. Jackson Mumm chasing that player in behind the net. And as the player turns his back to him, Jackson gives a shove into the wall. Referee is going to deem that to be a boarding penalty. Surrey player a little shook up, having trouble getting back to his feet. So Jackson goes to the penalty box. And the Thunder are going to have an early power play in this game. And they're going to work the puck around up high, eventually down low to the corner. They are going to put that back out high to the point. And then a shot from there is going to create a lot of chaos in front. Lots of Colts searching for it, lots of Thunder players searching for it. And eventually it ends up underneath Sahaj for the whistle. Next up, we see Jackson Davis working out at the point with a nice defensive play to tip that puck off the defenseman's stick and then go down 2-on-1. He has Jackson Mumm in front, but he elects to shoot. Surrey goalie comes out and challenges, makes a nice glove save. Off the ensuing face-off in that zone, though, here's a shot from the point by Bryson. It goes through two people trying to tip it. Eventually ends up on Jackson's stick. He pulls it to the backhand, deposits it past the Surrey goaltender, and the Colts, despite getting outshot early in this game, have a 1-0 lead. A little later, Surrey looking to get back into this. They're chasing this puck down low. Sahaj is going to play it over to Jackson Mumm, who gets it stripped here, and puck goes dangerously by the net to the corner. And Linden comes in, lays the body to get the puck back for the Colts. The Thunder, though, continue to have possession in the Colts zone. Watch in front of the net. There's going to be an extended battle there between Orson and that Thunder player while the play is happening around the edge, around the boards. Orson is back and forth with this player, and it gets increasingly contentious, and the cross-checks start, and the slashes begin, and eventually the referee is going to have to come in once this play is dead and separate these two players as it starts to escalate into a shoving match. And that Thunder player there is quite irate, bumping into his own player and kind of forcing the referee to manhandle him a bit. But both players get roughing penalties, so coincidental minors, and the teams will remain 5-on-5. Against the run of the play, the Colts are going to pick this puck up at center. Nathan pushes that up. Jackson Mumm does a really nice job to delay and stay on side. Then he makes a nice pass across to Jackson Davis, who gets the one-timer, gets good wood on it, but the defender deflects it, and Jackson Mumm is there. Jackson on the spot to slide that into the empty net behind the goalie, and the Colts are now up here 2-0. Thunder, despite outshooting the Colts here so far in the first period, have nothing to show for it, down 2-0. So here they come on the attack. This player is going to pick it up in high slot, and as he bobbles it, Liam comes in from behind and knocks him down. So that's going to be called a charging penalty there by the referee. You can see him with the rolling hands, signifying the charging penalty. So back to the power play, the Thunder go. And the top of the Colts penalty-killing box gets a little high, creating some space in the middle of the ice for that Surrey player to come in, walk in, and rip it into the net. The Colts lead is now cut in half. Here's a long bomb up the middle. There's a Surrey player behind the defenders, but Orson does well to hustle back and take that player without taking a penalty. A good defensive play there by Orson to keep the 2-1 lead for the Colts. But the penalty troubles for the Colts are going to continue. There you see Jackson back checking hard. He gets tangled up with that player. The referee is going to deem that to be roughing, although that's a little bit of a dubious call in my opinion. You can see Jackson also doesn't agree with it as his gloves and stick hits the floor. But it doesn't matter. The Golden Thunder are back on the power play, and they're working this puck down low, throwing on net. Save there from Sahaj, but the puck is going to bounce around in the crease. Eventually that Surrey player is going to come from behind the net, find it, and push it home past the goaltender. So 2 power play goals have leveled the score, and that one went in with just 0.1 seconds left here in the first period. So unfortunate for the Colts that they couldn't get that out. So we go to the second, now tied. And the Colts are going to try to turn around their run of play here. First, there's Arjun in front. He's got the spinorama, and he takes a shot, but the goalie hits a pad down and makes a save. Here's a play in the neutral zone. Nathan gets bumped there, and then watch as that player's skating away. He gets a stick into his feet and trips him up. So those penalties that cost them the lead in the first period continue here into the second with this tripping penalty from Nathan. Fortunately, though, for the Colts, they do kill that penalty off without really giving up any scoring opportunities. So here they are. And watch Jackson Mum along the wall. That Surrey player comes in and runs the fist through the head of Jackson. That's going to be a head contact penalty for Surrey. And they finally have a penalty of their own. And it's finally a power play here for the Colts. And we see Jackson Mum pick this puck up. 2 points already in this game. Pushes it up into the neutral zone. He's going to drive wide with it, pick that puck up off a chip, and he's got Jackson Anderson all alone in front, gives it to him, and he looked like he had some space there looking for his second goal of the game. Power play continues. Here comes Jackson Mum yet again, going on the right side this time, and this time he drops it to Arjun, who walks in, and the shot is deflected, and it looks like it actually hits the goaltender in the mask, and then the puck goes out of the play. A lot of pucks going out of the play in that part of the arena where the glass is missing. Normally there'd be glass right up to the blue line, but because of where the benches are here in this arena, the glass is not there, and a lot of pucks went out there during this game. Here we see Surrey just missing a puck in front of the net, and then it comes out to the point, and then Linden catches that Surrey player with his head down, searching for the puck. That's going to result in a 3-on-2 the other way for the Colts. Into the middle, chipped on net there by Noah, but a blocker saved by the Surrey goaltender. Colts are starting to pile up the offensive chances now. Here's a puck that's on the side of the net, blocked by the defender, and this puck eventually ends up on Leon Stipping front. He gets a shot on net. Rebound gets cleared away, but the Colts continue to pressure. Now here's Seth winding up in his own zone. Coming up the left side, he's going to drive wide, pull it around that defender, cut towards the net. He has some space up high there, but the goalie gets the shoulder on it. And while the run of play is going in the Colts' favor at the moment, Surrey does still get some chances. Here they come down the right side, shot up high. You see Sahaj get the shoulder up there, get a piece of that one. A little later, we're going to see the puck end up on West's stick down in his own zone near his own ringette line. And he has his head up and he sees Noah going through the middle with a nice pass up there. It gets deflected, but Noah gets it anyway. Gets a good shot off, but he's being hooked as he does so. And so the Surrey player is going to go to the box. 2 minutes for hooking, so another power play for the Colts. They're not able to generate any chances off that power play, but they are continuing to carry the play. This puck is up there in the neutral zone. And Jackson Davis with a big hit to create a turnover. But unfortunately, the Colts unable to get the puck after the turnover. And then there's going to be a slow change there by those forwards. And that's going to result in a 2-on-1 the other way for the Thunder. Pass is taken away well by the defender, so the shot has to be taken, and Sahaj makes the save. The period is winding down now. 3 minutes left here in the second. Seth with another one of his end-to-end rushes. Nice little move around the defender and then passes it over to Liam, and that's off the toe of his stick. And wide, had a lot of net there, but he couldn't quite control it. Play continues, and Linden's going to keep it in at the point. Throw it towards the net, and here's Seth again around the defender. He's in tight, jamming away at it, but it gets covered up. Colts continue to pressure as the period winds down. Here's Arjun chasing a loose puck behind the net. Big defender there, gets bowled over by Arjun. So it's not just doing it with sticks and pucks. They're also doing it with their bodies here. Colts trying to create some chances. Here's Jackson looking for that second goal here today. Puts that just wide, and eventually it's back on his stick in the high slot, and he rips it home off the post and in. And the Colts are back on top in this one. Deservedly so after dominating throughout the second period here. Jackson gets his second of the game on another nice feed from Jackson Mum below the goal line. 3-2 Colts. And as the period does wind down, just a few seconds left, it's going to be an unfortunate sequence here for the Colts. Here you see Jackson Davis going down the right side. He's going to get forced in behind the net. It's still on his stick, and as he comes up the wall, this Surrey player gives him a little shove into the wall, and that appears to run his knee into the boards. He struggles to get up, and he would not return for the third period. And the third is going to start with a look back on the first period. There's Jackson's trying to check that player. He gets a hook in on him. He does touch the puck out at the point, but the play is allowed to continue. But eventually the Colts are going to touch it, and that's going to send Jackson to the penalty box. 2 minutes for hooking. So Surrey's going to have the chance early in the third period to tie this game back up. And we have this Surrey player weaving his way through the neutral zone as Knox falls there. Nathan comes across and gets a stick on it just as that player was about to take the shot, deflecting it out over the glass. So the Colts kill that penalty, and now they're back on the attack in the other zone. Off the face-off, that draw goes back to Tyler. He whips it at net. Then another face-off right after that. This time it's Seth picks it up off the draw and takes it in on a bad angle. Tries to stuff it by the goalie. 2 nice saves by the Surrey goalie there to keep it 3-2. This puck is going to get kept in. Tyler's going to have it, and he makes a beautiful pass to the right over to Linden, who fans on it, but then Seth is there to throw that towards the net. Seth with a number of shots on net here in this game has yet to score. Here we see Surrey on a 2-on-1, and that's Jackson Anderson back there covering for 2 defensemen that were caught up ice, and he reaches in to deflect that shot over the net. Another nice defensive play there by Jackson Anderson to go with his 2 goals in this game. Here's a pass up the middle. That's Jackson Mumm, and he pushes that nicely back to Arjun, who then tries to go over to the left side. I believe that might have been Richard, but eventually it does going to end up on Arjun's stick, and he throws it towards the net, and it's bouncing around, and then Richard, if that is who that is, comes in again from the left and has a chance at knocking it down, but it gets cleared by the Thunder. Colts keep coming on this rush. Walking in, nice wrist shot by Arjun there, turned aside, then a slap shot by West that ends up getting blocked. Here's Seth again, winding up in the neutral zone, making yet another move on a defender to go around him, getting the shot there up on the blocker side. There was some space, but the goalie makes the save. And now Surrey trying desperately to find some offense to get this game back tied. Here's a player who's going to get driven wide, and he's going to try to do the backhanded wraparound, but Sahaj quickly gets down there to block that piece of the net and keep it out. Physical play from the Colts continues. Here's Arjun going in on a forecheck, puts the shoulder into the defender to knock him down. Now we're back at the other end. It's a point shot by the Surrey player that goes through a couple bodies, and it catches Sahaj a little bit by surprise, but he has a nice reaction to get the toe down and make the save. So now we're back at the other end. Colt's going to pinch in along the wall, dump that puck in down behind the net, throw it out front. That's Seth again, all alone in front. He shovels that into the goalie's stomach after a nice centering pass from Tyler. Speaking of centering passes, here's another one from back below the goal line out front to Jackson Anderson, looking for the hat trick, but another save from that Surrey goalie, who's been excellent here in the third period. Surrey trying to get in there on a heck of a defensive play there from Knox to dive in and bat that puck away from the Surrey player as he was trying to cut in onto the net. And after contributing defensively, here's Knox carrying the puck up offensively, and he's going to join the rush. Jackson Mumm down the side, and a nice backhanded pass out to Knox. He couldn't quite handle it. It gets thrown in the net by Noah, and Knox is there to grab the rebound in tight and show some nice hands to put that up over the goaltender's shoulder into the top of the net from a very bad angle, right on the goal line actually. So very impressive that that puck found its way in. And the Colts have some insurance in this game, up 4-2 with about 4 minutes to go in the game. The Thunder are essentially going to give up any chance of trying to get back into this one right here with just 3 minutes left in the game. That check from behind, that's going to get called a charging penalty by the officials. And so with just a couple minutes left in this game, the Thunder are killing a penalty. And you see the Colts looking for more insurance. Wes is going to have this. He's going to do nice to drag that to the middle a bit. It's going to end up on Jackson Anderson's stick. One save there, and then Tyler has a second crack at it. Looks like it was going wide. Goalie to get his blocker on it. So 2 good chances there. Game has just got a few seconds left in it. Here comes Jackson Mumm again on the right side. Tries to wrap around. It's loose in front, and a big opportunity from Seth there to finally get on the board despite having 8 or 9 shots on net in this game. He has nothing but net, and it ends up into the goalie's glove somehow and stays out. And as this game winds down, watch along the wall. This game's going to get a little bit chippy here. Some slashes and hacks. There's another one there by Linden. And as the puck comes up the wall here, watch this number 15 come in late and dogpile on top of the Colts player. Referee's going to call a head contact penalty there as he fell on top of the vulnerable Colts player. So with just a few seconds left in this game, one more chance from the Colts on the power play as Nathan walks it on the left side, has some space up high there. Nice wrist shot, but it hits the goalie in the shoulder, and that's the end of this game. A 4-2 victory with a little bit of animosity here at the final whistle, but a victory here for the Colts in their last exhibition game. So let's have a look at the stats for this game. There you see Jackson Mumm with an excellent outing with 4 points, +4 on the day. Jackson, great defensively, contributing 2 goals. And there you see Seth with 8 shots on net. Snake bit today that none of those would go in for him. A solid outing in net for Sahaj with the 2 goals against. So as mentioned, this was the last exhibition game prior to the start of the season. Let's have a look and see the standings. Here's the top 10 teams of any tier, how they did in their exhibition games. There you see Cloverdale at the top of the table with 6 victories and no losses. Only a couple other teams with no losses, but they had a couple ties to go with those 4 wins. So Colts at the top of the table after the exhibition season. So with the tiering games about to start, let's have a look at the upcoming schedule for the Colts. Here's their first 4 games of tiering action. The first game being on Thursday, October 2nd, a road game at Langley, before they are back for their first home game on the 6th against South Delta. Well, that's it for this one, folks. Like I said, October 2nd is the next game, and we'll be back for highlights of that one after it's played. See you then.